A bomb rips through a city. Gunshots echo on an island. Two men, Timothy McVeigh and Anders Breivik, turned ordinary days into nightmares, killing hundreds alone. What drove them? Who was worse? Stick around. You won't believe how far their shadows stretch. Before we move on to the next part, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening. A crisp spring morning in Oklahoma City, April 19, 1995. At 9:02 a.m., a yellow Ryder truck parked outside the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building erupted in a fireball, tearing through 9 stories of concrete and glass. Timothy McVeigh, the man behind the wheel, had just ignited the deadliest act of domestic terrorism in U.S. history up to that point. 168 lives lost, 19 of them children under 6, and over 680 injured. Fast forward to July 22, 2011, in Norway. At 3:25 p.m., a car bomb rocked Oslo's government district, shattering windows across a 1-mile radius. Hours later, on the tiny island of Utøya, Anders Breivik opened fire, his rampage claiming 77 lives in total, 69 at the youth camp alone. 2 attacks, 2 continents, 2 dates etched in blood. McVeigh was born on April 23, 1968, in Lockport, New York, a small town of 20,000 people. A Gulf War veteran, he earned a Bronze Star in 1991 for his service in Iraq, manning a Bradley fighting vehicle. But by 1995, the 26-year-old had traded his uniform for a mission of his own. He wasn't part of a militia or a foreign cell, just a lone figure with a grudge. Meanwhile, Breivik entered the world on February 13, 1979, in Oslo, a city of 500,000 known for its peace and prosperity. Raised by a single mother, he spent his teens in a middle-class neighborhood, excelling in school and later dabbling in business. By 2006, he'd registered 2 companies, earning a modest $20,000 before they folded. At 32, he stood at a crossroads, unnoticed by most. These weren't cartoon villains or shadowy operatives. McVeigh was a gun enthusiast who once sold survival gear at flea markets, blending into rural America. Breivik was a gamer and blogger, posting on forums about politics and culture, his online footprint stretching back to 2001 with over 600 entries. Neither had a criminal record before their attacks. No one saw them coming, not the FBI, with its 28,000 employees in 1995, nor Norway's PST security service, tracking 150 potential threats in 2011. They acted alone, armed with ordinary tools and extraordinary hate. So who were they really? What turned a decorated soldier into a bomber and a quiet entrepreneur into a mass shooter? Were they products of their time? McVeigh amid America's militia boom, Breivik in Europe's rising far-right wave, or something more personal? The answers lie ahead, in the plans they hatched, the minds they hid, and the chaos they left behind. Let's dive deeper into their shadows. Now let's step into the machinery of their madness. Timothy McVeigh didn't wake up one day and decide to bomb a building. It took him 2 months of meticulous planning. He mixed 4,800 pounds of ammonium nitrate fertilizer with 1,200 pounds of nitromethane racing fuel, packing it into 13 barrels inside a rented Ryder truck. That bomb, costing him just $5,000, had a blast radius of 300 feet, enough to collapse half the Murrah building in seconds. He parked it at 8:59 a.m., lit a 2-minute fuse, and walked away, leaving no trace of hesitation. Anders Breivik, on the other hand, spent 3 years preparing. His weapon of choice? A 2,100-pound fertilizer bomb made with 1,300 pounds of ammonium nitrate and diesel, wired to a car outside Oslo's government offices. Then he drove 25 miles to Utøya, armed with a Ruger Mini 14 rifle, loaded with 500 rounds, and a Glock 17 pistol with 200 rounds. Over 72 minutes, he fired 186 shots, methodically hunting his prey. Their methods tell us something about their minds. McVeigh was precise, almost surgical. He scouted the Murrah building 3 times, chose it for its glass facade, easier to shatter, and its daycare, a deliberate target to maximize shock. He'd studied the 1988 Turner Diaries, a book about a bombing that kills 700, and kept a copy in his getaway car. Breivik was different, obsessive and theatrical. He spent 200 hours training at a shooting range, logged 50 days farming to buy fertilizer legally, and wrote a 1,518-page manifesto, emailed to 1,003 contacts hours before the attack. Where McVeigh struck once and vanished, Breivik staged a 2-act horror show, disguising himself as a cop to lure victims closer. What drove them? For McVeigh, it was rage, pure and focused. The 1993 Waco siege, where 76 people died in a standoff with federal agents, lit his fuse. He saw the U.S. government as a tyrant, and his bomb was payback, a $16 million hit to federal property, a message to wake up America. Breivik's fuel was ideology, a twisted dream of a pure Europe. He despised Islam, Marxism, and multiculturalism, blaming Norway's Labour Party for cultural suicide. His manifesto cites 2083 as the year Europe must be saved, and he trained to be its warrior, spending $40,000 on weapons and gear over 3 years. Their psychology splits them further. McVeigh was cold, a loner who wrote, "I have no regrets, I'd do it again." Experts call him a rational extremist, calculating every move. Breivik was delusional, a narcissist who grinned in court, claiming he'd saved 70 million Europeans. One wanted revenge, the other, a revolution. But how do their tools and tactics stack up? McVeigh's bomb had twice the explosive weight of Breivik's, yet Breivik's gunfire tripled the kill time, which made them more lethal. That's where the real question lies. Let's weigh their danger next. Let's measure the wreckage they left behind. McVeigh's bomb took 168 lives in under a minute, 19 children, 99 federal workers, and 50 bystanders, leaving a crater 30 feet deep and $652 million in damage. That single blast on April 19, 1995, killed more people than any U.S. domestic attack until 9/11. Breivik's toll was 77, 8 from his Oslo bomb, 69 from his 72-minute shooting spree on Utøya. His victims, mostly teens aged 14 to 19, fell to 186 bullets, with 33 more wounded. His $40,000 arsenal outlasted McVeigh's $5,000 bomb in duration, but not in raw numbers. McVeigh's kill rate was 168 per minute. Breivik's just over 1 per minute. On impact alone, McVeigh hit harder. But danger isn't just bodies, it's ripples. McVeigh's attack sparked a wave of copycats. Between 1995 and 2000, the FBI tracked 130 bomb plots inspired by Oklahoma, including a 1997 plan to hit a Texas federal building with 2,000 pounds of explosives, half McVeigh's load. His shadow fueled America's militia movement, which grew from 224 groups in 1994 to 858 by 1996. Breivik's reach went global. His manifesto, emailed to 1,003 people, hit 10,000 downloads within a year. By 2019, it had inspired at least 4 attacks: Christchurch, 51 dead, Poway, 1 dead, Barham, 1 dead, and El Paso, 23 dead, totaling 76 kills linked to his words. McVeigh's bomb stayed physical. Breivik's ideas became a virus. Compare them to their peers. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, killed 3 over 17 years with 16 bombs, meticulous but slow, averaging 0.17 deaths per attack. The 9/11 hijackers, a team of 19, took 2,977 lives in hours with jetliners, dwarfing both in scale. McVeigh outdid Kaczynski in efficiency, 56 times the body count in one strike. Breivik fell short of 9/11's toll, but tripled its kill time, proving a lone gunman's endurance. Against these, McVeigh was a sledgehammer, fast, blunt, done. Breivik was a scalpel, precise, prolonged, and infectious. Their aftermath seals the verdict. McVeigh faced justice swiftly, arrested 90 minutes after the blast, executed by lethal injection in 2001. His threat ended at 33. Breivik, now 46, sits in a Norwegian cell, filing lawsuits and writing letters, his voice still echoing online. Norway spent $4 million securing his trial, while the U.S. rebuilt Oklahoma's defenses with a $40 million anti-terrorism act in 1996. McVeigh's legacy hardened borders, Breivik's inflamed minds. One was a thunderclap, loud, then gone. The other, a slow burn, still smoldering in 2025. So who's the greater danger? McVeigh broke more lives in a flash. Breivik broke the future, one warped disciple at a time. Their scars remind us, evil doesn't die, it evolves. And there you have it, McVeigh's thunderous blow versus Breivik's lingering poison. One shattered a building, the other a generation's peace. Their tools were simple, their hate complex, and their scars still burn in 2025. Evil doesn't vanish, it morphs, waiting for its next spark. So here's the question, could society have stopped them, or are we always one step behind? Drop your thoughts below. If this dive into darkness hooked you, hit that like button and subscribe. We've got more stories where this came from.